How about you? Can they hear you? Can they hear me?
They can hear me now.
Hey, everybody. How's it going? Terrain Tuesday. So, hope you all had a lot of fun. This has been an interesting week, and it's only been 2 days. So, what we're doing here is on Terrain Tuesday, we're building terrain stuff. This is the trebuchet. We're working on this. They've opted to make sure they see everything if you're new to this. So I don't do a lot of stuff off camera and then come on and do it and make it faster. So we're just slogging through it. So Rings Raccoon, hey, how'd that? Oh, I saw everybody in here earlier. So what we had was some mistakes last time, and I'm going to correct them. I'm going to show you exactly what we did for that. So my name's Ed Pugh, president here at Reaper Miniatures. This is Terrain Tuesday. We'll be here for probably over an hour. I'm usually getting about an hour, hour and a half. Justin's here as well as John Overton's here.
Hello.
And we're going to get started. And I can put in a lot of sentences today, which is that I don't know what I'm going to say. So,
real quick before
Yes,
you
sir.
actually get started, the giveaway. You want to show
the
them what
giveaway.
it is?
Oh yeah, let's do this. We still have for this show a few more of these left. I don't know what the count is.
Every 5 subs, we give away 1 baggie.
There you get.
And we already have 2 because I'll count Bug Lips and Xylophone.
Oh, so in here for those that haven't been here, we gave these away during Christmas, during the holidays, and then about I guess a week ago, they found, we call them warehouse finds. Somebody cleaned an area out or got to it. Hey, Achilles Blade. They go in, we found a box of these. So what we're doing is these are on this for this show. That's where we're doing these. So what comes in here is you'll get a free mini, and it's at random. This happens to have Santa Claus in it. There are 2 paints, which are the hollyberry, and I forgot the tree name, is Christmas wreath are in here. And then you're going to get some random, this particular one has some of the chibis from Halloween in there. And then you get a Christmas ornament. And I don't know how many we've got, but we've got not many left, enough for this show. So that's the giveaway. But he'll tell you how many, or you do the slash free, and it's 1 for every 5 subs, you said?
It's 1 for every 5 subs. It's not currently open, so hashtag free does not do anything.
Okay, so you'll have to wait for that.
But yeah, as soon as we actually activate the first one, which will be in 2 more subs, then I will open up the giveaway and you guys can enjoy.
So, on to this. Our goal, for those that are new, is we're building this trebuchet, and we're actually going to launch chocolate kisses with it. It's built out of balsa wood, so we can't put a whole lot of ballast in it and shoot rocks, or I guess we could, small rocks. But anyway, a couple of things that happened last week. Last week we built the ballast box, which, by the way, so that you can see where this is ending up, can you put that picture up? To show everybody what it is, what the end result will be.
Thank you for the raid, by the way, Maharoon.
You get it?
Yes. Oh, okay.
The picture. No, it didn't go.
Yes, I got you. The special one?
There we go. In the end, that's what we'll be constructing. And the part that, now you can give me the down camera. The part that we're currently working on is, here I'll move over, this ballast box here. We completed that last week, as well as we were working on the axle of this part here to get it to be smooth. That's where this whole mechanism is going to go. And since we originally said we weren't going to shoot anything out, it was just purely static, we'll build a model. And then down the line, I don't know what possessed me, we decided we're going to shoot chocolate kisses. So now geometry plays a big, big issue in this equation. So, but when I did the ballast box, I made a mistake. So I was going to fix it and then come back, but Justin convinced me no, that we couldn't do that, that everybody wants to see it, so we get to go and see that again. Then the other thing was I fixed the axle here in this area to get this geometry to go where this freely floats. And I'm going to go ahead and show you both things. So, excuse me. Anyway, this is the box we constructed last week that the 2 sides of this ballast box were going to sit on. And they were glued accordingly. And I checked all the clearances, and it would fit inside of this area that it needed to rock and all that kind of stuff. And then after the show, I was looking back over at the drawing, and I realized I forgot to put its hanging pivots, which are going to be very thick pieces of wood in comparison, something along this line. So I had to add this, so this will basically be on each side to hang this from. And which you would see in here, well, it's sort of blocked out. But anyway, my point being is when you added those, it was no longer going to fit inside of this area comfortably and come through. As you can see, this is a tight fit before we do add these. So The solution for that is to go ahead and fix it. Was I pulled these off last week, so when I realized it, and they were still sort of wet, so they had a week to dry. They didn't just hang around.
Thank you for the gift sub.
This is the original ballast box we built that these were tied to. So as you can see, I figured out what I needed to do and just cut it off. But here's the trick on how to cut it off. This is the original box, and of course, as you can tell, my table's devoid of a ruler. So, and really probably a lot of the basic tools I should have. So what I did is I would found this stick here that would make the width that I needed to achieve what I needed to achieve. And I went around and just scored this width on all 4 sides. Now I had a line, so now I cut it off, and now it matches and it stays in alignment. So what we're going to do is attach this to here and probably bolster it a little bit, since when you take stuff apart and put it back together, you lose some of your integrity. Let me see if I can find a stick. I probably got to go hit the stick store again. Yes. I'll use that. So, I know where I threw those down here. Here they go.
See what tractor on said?
No.
Yeah.
What?
While on a graduated deal. Hey.
Yes.
Can you tell what mat you're on?
What?
Look at the mat you're using.
The mat?
Yeah. It's got a ruler on it.
Oh, the protractor you're talking about? Or
Yeah,
the grids?
The grids, yes.
Yeah, no. I mean, we could use, but anybody could do it that way.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, how are we going to make this special? So we just ignore the obvious protractor that's in front of us as well as the grid. And there's actually, if you're going to get really super technical, you have a ruler here, and you have it gridded in centimeters over here, or millimeters over here. But I bought it to cut on, not to measure with.
I agree with you. Let's stick to that.
So, now, to make this a little bit stronger and get through it, although it is going to work pretty well as it is, we'll go.
Nice to see you there, Super Ego 1989. I've never seen that before, so welcome if you're new for the live shows.
Haven't been looking. I see a few names, or names I haven't seen before.
Hope the fires are doing well.
Well,
You don't want them to.
Not doing well.
yeah, correct. You hope they're out.
Where? In Australia?
Yeah, Australia.
No,
correct.
they're looking for. I was listening to a broadcast this morning. What they're looking for on the fires is they're not expecting a torrential rain, which is what they need to be able to fully put them out. But they have had a cooling in the weather, and they're using that time there to get prepared for what they believe will be probably another more or less major assault. It's burned so far the equivalent of our state of West Virginia in land space. And which is just absolutely incredible. And what happened was, obviously we know what happened. There's a fire. This fire started at the very early part of their fire season. So and with months to go before the fire season's over with and they move to rain, it's not looking good. So, but I have heard that there have been some U.S. firefighting teams have headed south down to that area. And hopefully they will assist, as well as others from around the world.
I think also 24 people got arrested for setting the fires.
Oh, I haven't heard any of that.
I saw
I
that
know there's
as well.
like 27 people or something like that, 24 people that have died because of the fires. But I haven't heard of anybody. Now, all I've done here is just add this ridge, this piece of wood, scrap wood, to give me a little bit support to this wood here, and then we've glued it in there. And we're now going to do it. Now, what we're going to use for ballast is sand, which will give us more than enough weight, and we can adjust that because we actually seal the box. It's not an open top where you see the rocks and stuff like that on the technical side of it. Now, to keep that in place, what we're going to do is throw a few pins in to where they just go through. That way it won't slide on the glue.
That wasn't me, by the way, Minaith. I type better than that. I just want to point that out.
For what?
It's on this crappy laptop.
Oh yeah, John's gonna blame the laptop. Everyone.
Oh,
No, he's behind me helping me with chat. So
It's flipped side.
yes, I know.
it's
I
flipped
need
sideways.
to remember
All
to.
these excuses. All these excuses.
Hey, this is Reaper. Although tomorrow we're taking quite the technological leap. Everybody is now going to be tagged with a... By the way, in case those you haven't seen it, when I use the straight pins and I attach them and I push them through, well, I have to clip them off. So what I have is I've taken a dummy board here, or just a piece of wood. It's not a board. and I will do this and hold it over that board, and so when I make my cut, it'll just stick it, forces it right in there, versus throwing them all over the house, which if you live by yourself is fine. And if you get stick yourself, you have no one to blame. But your significant other, children, etc., well, they're not going to take it as easy as that. So we've got that. Now this one, I got a little bit extra glue there. Take off.
Always cut away from yourself, everybody.
Yep, cut away. And don't put your, like I started to, put your finger in front of it. Yeah, don't do that either. Been there, done that. So I'm going to make sure that we hit the same area. We want it to look relatively uniform and match up. And we have our outs to our outs. So in this particular case, I'll cover it with an amazingly immense amount of glue that's
Hey,
not
Josh,
needed.
how you doing? Mini painting studio.
Cut away from the hospital.
Yeah, cut away from the hospital.
Yeah. Trash would probably help us someday too.
Will Ann be on tomorrow as well?
Yes.
11 a.m.
Well, that's per the schedule I see.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 11 a.m.
Yeah.
Central time, not standard time because of daylight savings. So.
Yeah.
So you don't put the S. As I learned recently, you don't put the S or the S
Okay.
in there.
So now that one's on, and then to pin it while it's gluing, I'm just going to go ahead and throw a pin through here. I just don't want it to slide on the glue or get out of the groove, because we're going to actually have to handle it and play with it. There we go. So, oh man. So, there we go. Lines up, lines up. We're open all the way around. So now, what I need to do is test to see if I have all of the clearance that I need. And if not, then we have to adapt. There it is. So, here, I haven't done this part yet, because we have to build another. I'll have to figure out something on that.
Is that?
Huh?
John, you do know planar crossroads is not Australian, right?
She said she grew up in Brisbane.
Oh. When did they say that?
A few sentences ago. Read chat.
I don't believe you. Also, I think it's good day. That just says good eye.
Good eye, Mike.
No, I know what you're going for, but you know.
Okay.
No, this is not a kit we sell, Lady Azworth.
No.
Although not a terrible idea,
Now,
but no.
using the boards that I wanted to use are still, if you look down there, I'm going to say that's too tight. So all I'm going to do now is just go to one level thinner for the board. Do what? Oh. Thought it was something fun, wild, and exciting.
Never us. No, it's none of those things.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. Tomorrow we step into a new technological age. We all have to wear ID cards now and have to go clock in electronically.
Does tomorrow start the new
Wednesday,
clocking
yeah.
in? Okay.
It's a new payroll week. So everybody got tagged with official little badges that we have to wear. And they're magnetic cards, so I can just go up and hit it and go. I know, rest of the universe has been using those since the Neanderthal times, I'm sure. So now, as you can see, I've got this much space just by reducing the board. This should be able to handle any wobble and any tolerances that we want. So we will call that, excuse me, done. And we're now going to let this sit and dry before I mess it up. Now, while that's messed up, I want to show y'all, I mean, not messed up, while that sits there and dries, I want to show y'all what I did here to get this to be just so loose. Now, the problem that we're facing is with the design of a trebuchet, you have to keep this entire open space open. And in fact, too, pull the axle out. There's no support from the bottom to the top. As such, you have to get all of your support, like a flying buttress on a cathedral kind of a thing, from here on the side. and working with balsa wood, it's to be flexible and this kind of thing. So what we have to do is figure out how to make sure that when we hang this, that the axle, we don't have any way to stabilize this top to a specified space. So under stress, this is going to flex as it gets pushed. So last week we had it, and it wasn't quite thin, and I played with it and looked at everything we had. And what I came up with for a solution was simply to take, this is the bushing size we were using that was cut out of plaster struck tubing, and it went through this fully. It'd still have to be trimmed off edge, but it would all go all the way through. But the two sides were not going to be at a perfect line. They were actually, it was fine, the angle was a little bit off. And all it takes is a little bit. So what I did was play with the holes, massage a little bit, but I came back and
Phrasing.
took just one of the tubes, one of the tube halves, and cut it in half. So now I have these two small pieces here. Now what that's going to do is when it's put inside of here, before the shaft ran this whole thing. So this little area here was where I was having my alignment problem, and I needed to make sure that that is back alignment. So what I did was, just by cutting it short, it's now only from here to that part of the shaft on each side. And then I opened up this hole a little bit, so the axle is now in perfect alignment. And these will just insert here on the side. And so we still have to do these supports, and that gets covered up when we do that support, kind of a thing. So now that those are in, I can just turn around and I drop this in, and it just goes straight over to the other side. And it's now, there's no flex. I mean, it works.
And this is once you're done playing with the holes?
Yes. Yes. Playing with holes is a very important point of life. You just need to, at an early age, figure out that holes are your friends.
Thank you. You beat me to it, Super Sarah.
What? What'd she say?
She said you have to take precautions before putting the whole... I'm not even going to repeat it.
The whole shaft in the hole?
Yep,
Yeah,
that's it.
Of course, because alignment, it works.
Alignment is important,
Yeah.
yes. 'Cause
And if you'll note, since I cut it in half there on the two bushing sides, size didn't matter. I just actually cut it shorter, and it worked better. All right, so those were the two fixes. So now that we've got those out of the way, we're back to our infamous drawing and see where we're going to go to next. Logic is I'm going to go ahead and finish this. Now what we have here, this is it's like a swing suppressor. This being a balanced beam would continue to rock like this. So what their designers did was attach this extra weight that sits out here to the side like that. And so when it comes down, there's now technically more weight on one side than the other. And it doesn't help, I mean, it doesn't hurt that when you bring this up, you're getting additional weight for that part anyway. And so what it'll do is cause this to slow down pretty quick and stop so that they can reload and go through those. Now, that said, what we're looking for the last major components are these side structures, which we can see in this drawing here, which are these outside parts. This one here, and then this one here. And they go through the ones that are in existence there. So we have that needs to be added, then finish the box, the ballast box itself, and the shaft. Now with the shaft we have a problem, and it's either going to get fixed or we'll have to redo, is this is the length that we need here, and it would line up and do that, but I don't know if I have enough on the bottom. See, it doesn't want to, I'll just put it in, and I'll show you the issue. I have to attach the ballast box, and it said without plans, and you start going through all this stuff. And so, anyway, at this point, this part here is where this is where the ballast box would attach to this swinging lower area. And then it would come down, except it hits this. Now, we could cut this out and make it work, but then again, it's going to lose its scale or lose whatever. I mean, that could happen. We could do that as a possible solution. And then the other is doing it the right way. And I really don't know what the right way is, so we got to sort of figure that out. The right way would be cut another arm and make it longer.
Yes, thank you, Ellie, for the bits. Hey, Ed, will you shift your camera for me a little bit?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Whenever that happens, you gotta. I go when it's larger, I'm up to this section. When we get smaller, I'm back here. So we just sort of gotta find an area.
A happy medium?
A happy medium. And for those of you not aware of it, Mr. John Overton is doing, we finally have an organized social media person, and that's John Overton. And he's doing an amazing job. But prior to this, what we had all done was sort of just detach it. I took Instagram and Twitch or Twitter, and Ron, Dave, and Matt took Facebook fan. I mean, it was all over the place. And so in turn, there was obviously no coordination to it. So now it's working out real well. Everybody's very excited about it. So it looks like the better thing would be to make another shaft or extend the length of this shaft.
Oh no.
What?
Nothing?
So I'm just going to go with extending the length of the shaft. But it's not going to be as easy as just gluing these two together. I wish it was, but it won't be. Never is.
Also, as a reminder, we are 3 subs away from our second Christmas baggie. So that means we are at 7 of 10. Although we have multiple of these, so if we end up with several, then we can cut one, I believe.
So, if we're going to patch anything, we need a good surface or a good joint. So what I'm going to do is just mark this one. Yeah, it's soft enough. I think I go all the way through.
Mini Painting Studio said extending the shaft is never easy, Ed.
I know.
Also, Coffee Nerdery Beer said, I heard those things don't work.
There's got to be some crude comeback I could have that would only get me in trouble if I was to utter it, which is what most things I say happens.
That works for me. That's fine.
I mean, I would have to think at some point Hitler's involved. Now, I want y'all to know that as I'm cutting this, I still don't have an clue as to how I'm going to put them together. I know it looks official, and I'm moving in some way with bearing to make it look like I'm in complete control, but honestly, I know that just sticking them together and gluing them is not going to work. And I know that we're going to have some sort of a joint, something in here that will push the two together without making it thicker. That's the trick. I can't, now I could add some to the top, but by adding a plate to the top and the bottom of the shaft, that would solve the problem in connecting the joint, and that would not be a bad idea. How did I cut this straight and still end up with an angle? It would be nicer if it would look like it's one single shaft is designed. So, ha 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 ha. Okay. How about if I just start cutting and gluing?
Unfortunately, Trash Rama, I think if I played the Shaft theme song, we would end up with the copyright infringement stuff. For the,
yeah, they get pretty
VOD.
testy about that pretty quick.
They do. So they would mute portions of the VOD, and I wouldn't want people to miss actual. I know you got to dig for it, but there's actual information somewhere in that Ed is saying that we need to hear. Right, Ed?
Yeah, no, they'd whack us. Okay. Crude at best. And so now we have an official hole. Maybe this would work. It would definitely have more of a, yeah, let's do that. It'll have a better look to it, and it gives me more facets to attach to.
No,
put the pins through.
Graxaplon, it's open worldwide. The giveaway, right, Ed?
Yes, yes. Speaking of worldwide, there is NASA, I was reading, discovered a new planet.
Did they
It's
name it?
only 100 light years away, which is like 60 trillion miles, I think, per light year. So 100 times whatever 60 trillion is. It's probably close to our deficit. The is actually very close to Earth as far as where it is in orbit, all of the factors to make it a habitable planet. So now we've found it. It's just going to take us probably a few months at least to figure out how to travel whatever 100 times 60 trillion is.
Yeah, just a few months.
Just a few months. But at least they're out there trying. That's the best part. Okay. So what I'm going to do is put this joint through, and then we're going to glue it, and then we're going to drive a bunch of pins in it. And what we're going to do is because of this thing here, we will be able to hit an angle like this with a pin, angles like this with a pin, things like that. That's the theory. And when you step out like this, man, you're just sort of like running without a net. And it could fail, in which case we're back to, but worst come to worst, we just build another shaft. Which one?
Oh, the free shipping?
Yeah. Josh Rama wanted to know what the shipping minimum was for the new planet.
New planet.
Is it still 40?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it could change. We might have to change our policy. I don't know that we could get the U.S. mail to go that far.
No, the only one here without pants planer is me. Although John's not wearing pants either now.
Yeah, I was wearing an apron.
We're bald. Yeah, he's just wearing an apron. He took everything else off.
Yeah,
Hey, he took it too far.
There was a cooking class earlier, and he just, it's bacon day, so
Yeah,
only wears an apron.
Bacon. Only an apron.
Yeah.
At least I still have my underwear on.
We keep telling Sarah to give us pics, but they ain't coming yet. All right. Does that fit right? Not really, but it's going to fit well enough. And so now that all our holidays are used up, and we have to start over another year, what's our next holiday? I think for us it's President's Day. Is it? I don't
Is
know
it?
where we get a day off.
Do we have? Do we have Martin Luther King Day off?
I don't know. We get 1 day a quarter. I know that.
Oh, I don't know, to be honest.
Well, and except the fourth quarter, obviously. There's some in there with multiples. But so, did anybody get something for Christmas they're just dying to tell everybody about?
Not me. I got some pants. I'm not wearing them currently, but
Ironically, so
John and I both received pants for Christmas,
Pants for
by
Christmas.
which we are not wearing currently.
Were these from your respective significant others?
yes.
Maybe they were trying to tell you something. There could be a hint in there. All right. So let's cut us a chunk of this, or squeeze it off, whichever works. And then what we're going to do is determine how long now we want this thing to be.
Dave wants to know if you tried defragging the shaft.
I could, yeah. I did that earlier to a phone, right? I helped her get her email working. I'm just going to go ahead and we'll get down here and worry about it after we get it together.
Dave's got a boomer watch.
He did. He did. He actually winds it, everything. It's the same watch that astronauts wore to go to the moon. And
I was going to say, boomer watch or not, I want that watch. It's pretty cool.
it's badass.
It
but
is,
yeah.
I like the history behind it, really.
Yeah, and his wife, we all went, the family went in together to get it for him. And she had been making fun of me just a few weeks before about how I was having to wind my watch. And that was just too funny for her. And I said, well, now Dave's in that club. All right, so.
That's good to hear, Planer. That is fantastic news.
Oh, she's doing better?
Oh, is this the lady in, is it, no, where are you? Where is
She's in
Planer
Germany.
Cross? Is it
Germany.
Germany? Because I keep hearing Sweden or anything like that.
She's from Australia.
Okay. I should have an update on the airbrush Thursday, at least there. That's where I'm going for.
That's a good idea.
But you're in Germany right now. This is where this happened, where she was in the hospital?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay.
Trash Rama said they wanted a Reaper airbrush for Christmas, but Santa Ed failed him.
I did.
And he weeps daily.
Wow. I'm trying to fill an ocean of tears caused by reapers, so we do appreciate your contribution. You know, this is something annoying I always suffer from is I cut the piece, I'm ready to go. I put a bunch of glue on there, and now I can't find the piece that I'm gluing together. Oh, there it is.
I wonder if
Oh, the pure chaos.
that's a side effect of the workspace.
Yeah.
I was talking to Chad about OCD.
Hey, you can't organize pure genius. Ask Einstein. He was absolutely messy. Had the worst handwriting you've ever seen.
Really?
Yep. He was not a meticulous person.
I will say I was rather enthralled with his haircut. And I remember telling my mom I wanted my hair like that.
His hair was absolutely indicative of the rest of his organization in his life.
Well, it was cool to me, and my mom wouldn't go for it. All right. So now that I have that in there...
Oh, Jimmy with a rating party. Thank you, Jimmy.
Hey, thank you, sir.
Hope you guys had a great stream.
Let me see. Where do I want to hit? I want to go right here.
Actually, I want to hop on real quick since Jimmy's here.
Okay.
Is it ready?
I don't know.
Nope.
You just got to keep talking until he goes, we can hear you. That's what I do.
Test 1 2.
Oh, testing is so boring.
Test
Go
1
for
2.
it.
You're
Live
good,
for
You're
it.
good to go.
Hey, everybody.
Jimmy with
I'm
the
sitting in
sub.
the room, so it feels a little weird. I don't know, but thanks, Jimmy, for the host. I was actually watching his channel earlier today. I know it's crazy over there. They just had a baby.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Girl or boy?
girl.
Girl.
Yeah, named Anya, I believe. Anya.
Always need more girls.
And they're actually planning on doing a Reaper paint along sometime next month. I think we were talking about it earlier today. We were trying to decide on what mini they think that they should do for the paint along next month, and I put in my suggestions.
There
Baron Black
is
Tree.
a mother and child in the villager pack. That
Oh,
would be
yeah.
a...
They're generally looking for something that can be used in some kind of armies or to help people with certain things like, furs, armors, non-metallic metals, things like that to teach. But yeah.
Scott, we are at 8 subs. Sorry, I did not count those last two. 9, 10 subs, actually. We just hit the second baggie.
But thanks for the host. Thanks for the raid, Jimmy. For everybody that just joined from Jimmy's channel, we're doing a giveaway. What is it, Justin?
It is the Christmas baggie.
And it's how many subs?
5.
Every 5 subs we give away.
A
Every
Christmas
5
baggie.
subs. we
Every
get
5 subs we give away one Christmas
Christmas
baggie.
Correct.
There we go. I've been here. I promise.
Yeah.
I've been talking in chat. I was on the other side
They all
typing.
say that.
But I saw Jimmy get here, and I wanted to hop on and say thank you.
All right. So as you can see, I put the dowel inside of there. And then what I'm trying to do here is make sure I got as much surface as possible. So I'm coming through like this direction, and then they'll be crossing through this direction, and I'll do it that way as well. So just taking two and butting together, putting some glue in and slapping some pins in it aside, I've messed and done that before. It just doesn't work. Now, I don't know if this is going to work. I've never done this either, but at least this makes more sense.
So everybody that just joined us, Ed is building a trebuchet.
Yeah, Ed, do you want to show it off real quick? I know you're doing the swing arm
Yeah.
there, but the...
Oh, that's right. We have, okay. So we'll put the picture up.
let's say, let's go to the big cam.
Yeah. There we go. The end result is what that's going to be. The one in the center, not the two sides. So what we're doing is just let's see if we can match that angle up a little bit. Trying to go from there. There we go. I guess that would be, anyway. So you see where we are, and what we've got left are some support runners here that are going to go on the side. We're working on the ballast box and the swing arm right now. Once we get those major components in, and we also have to add these wings, which if I can go over to that picture, and I can't, I'll have to show you. Go ahead and do the down camera now, and I'll show them on this.
Thanks, Reaper Dave, for answering questions in chat.
These extra wings, spring wings, I don't know what the technical name for it is. What they do is like a bow. When this is coming down, mechanism is coming down, there's a pulley and it's pulling it and it's pulling these in. And so upon release, this helps get this whole motion into accelerated as fast as possible. So they're just two side supports. Now, we're not going to go that much in a functional because balsa wood doesn't really flex well. But that's what we're building. That's where we are. And what we're doing, this is the correct mistakes episode. So in case you're just coming in, we had to narrow this box, so we got it done. We fixed our geometry up here to where we have a nice free spin. And right now what we're doing is lengthening the rod and listening to a lot of off-color sub comments.
Never.
And we're lengthening the rod because it was hitting whenever it was going
Yeah.
down. It was hitting
It was-
these supports in the middle.
When I cut it, it was too short, you know.
Yeah. There's nothing
how many guys have ever
worse
said
than
that?
a rod that is too short.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also the that is as important as the holes at the top. You have to make sure the holes are of the correct circumference
Yes.
for your shaft.
Got it.
I learned a lot today in Jimmy's chat. They were eating mince pies. I
Okay.
mean, I'm a silly American. I don't know what a mince pie is. So
Well, tell us.
I mean, he
I
basically
can't remember what it
said
is.
it's raisins and sugar. That's what Jimmy said, and chat
I-
forced him to eat it.
Oh,
don't
you
think
mean
it was
you mean
raisins and
crappy
sugar.
grapes?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure we're on the same page.
I don't remember it being that. I don't know.
If he's still in chat, he can tell us.
Maybe it is. I was,
Bug lips.
Bug lips. We're quickly reaching the point where I'm the most mature one in here. This is the end of days.
Yeah, bug lips.
that's true. I know. I was surprised to find out that Yorkshire pudding was not pudding. It was actually just some bread used to sop up the juice from prime rib. At least that's what I learned one night.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing. So, anyways, you can see I'm free-handing this already, and it's a lot sturdier than it would have been if we had just taken two and glued and did that. Okay, so now I'm going to put.
Oh, mincemeat. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Jimmy just explained what it was that he was eating. He says, "Well, I think normally they have mincemeat, gelatin, and jelly plus raisins in it, but ours are a little different." He said.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Yeah, my grandma used to make those. I did not like them. Did not like them.
Your grandma or what she was making?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I love my grandmother. No, she used to make mincemeat pies for Thanksgiving morning.
Uh-huh.
And they were... I'm sure other people liked them. I did not. I preferred my pecan and my pumpkin.
Yeah, I'm a pumpkin pie boy. Yeah. So what is this doing that you're doing here?
Well, we've extended the shaft by that much, whatever that is.
And now
It's like
you're
about-
using these to
These
kind
are
of hold
the
them in place?
Yeah. These are the cross pins that are going to go in and hold it at the joint. And apparently this one has hit one. Oh, come on. We'll just leave it and cut it there.
Do you think the joint... Did you use glue at all?
Yeah.
Okay. I missed
Slathered it with glue.
I see. And this is just to hold it until the glue dries, plus
Right.
to help give it extra support.
He
Once
puts glue
it's
in
dry.
everything.
Yeah. I mean, why not?
Yeah. I mean, glue on spaghetti is awesome. It's a good giggle. So, and we have to deal with, and that was a good thing on the airbrush. That's what I'm going to focus on is projects. We're sort of shifting the way the shows are going. We'll be going around a little bit, not much. But one of the things I'm going to focus on are all the projects. And then Ron's going to focus on the new releases. And so that we can get consistent updates.
Yeah. That'd be
And
great.
stuff like that on the Kickstarter, as well as the ReaperCon, as well as various projects. Because we have the dice project going.
Yeah.
We have the airbrush project.
That'll help me with social media and stuff, too. So.
Yeah. And these are all projects that really started. I think the dice started early last year, this time last year. It takes a long time to go through all of the steps we put it through. I know, like in the case of the dice, they went to a trade show, then they came back and were repackaged, and they were placed in our store and another store in Tennessee, and then we saw what sold there, and then we redid it. And so, you know, you go through a lot of steps to be able to get it where you want it to be. So now I've got this, whatever it is,
This is my favorite tool. That's my favorite tool that you use, the one that you just used.
the saw.
Yeah, it looks like a big butcher's blade,
Oh,
but miniature size.
all right.
Speaking of that, anybody that is watching, if you guys have any ideas on what you guys want built in the future, email that to reaperlive at reapermini.com.
Yes. And we've already gotten a couple, which there's been some really good.
Yeah, we've been talking
One
about
wanted
it.
like a tower, like an orc tower kind of a thing, just sort of a ramshackle You know, and to me, if we're going to do that stuff, because there's plenty of companies that sell really nice terrain, but the whole point of this is to do it fast and look better than what you would.
Yeah, if you want to make your own. A lot of
Yeah.
people have sentimental value if you make your own things.
Right. And this is a little bit more, and the whole idea, this goes a little bit beyond Terrain Tuesday, because we've actually turned this into a full-blown model.
Just a hobbying show.
Hobby side, yeah. So, there we go. Now our shaft is that much longer. It's square. Tempted to put a bit of veneer on it of wood.
Man. When was the last time you were tempted to put veneer on your shaft, John?
A Trojan horse filled with goblins. I like that one.
That could be fun. A Trojan horse
that
could
sounds
be
fun.
gas.
Yeah. Like I said, if you guys have any good ideas, send them into reaperlive@reapermini.com.
So,
That sounds great to me.
What?
I'm actually really excited because for Christmas I got a bunch of hobby stuff and I'm starting to make terrain and everything. It's exciting. I want if
Which
anybody
kind of
has
terrain?
a hand wire cutter for foam.
there used to be one around here at the shop you could grab. I don't know where it goes. So many of those times you go to the toolbox where it was to only find out it's a was, not
It's
an
like
is.
you walk around the factory saying, "Hey, where's our heat gun?" And you're
Yeah. What heat gun?
like, "Forever Night. No, I'm not wearing my Crocs. I can't wear them at work because they're not closed-toed
Closed-toe.
shoes."
Yeah.
Yeah, Proxon. Yeah, I got a hand cut Proxon. So I want a table one. If anybody has a table wire cutter for Proxon, let me know how it is. I'm really curious.
We have a table wire cutter around here.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I think it all went back downstairs. After the show, I'll show you.
Okay.
We years ago invested in a lot of that stuff when we were having to build terrain a lot when we were doing Cav and Warlord for shows.
Yeah, those
And,
wire. A lot of people saying they have some. Hard to find.
I mean, it's really a basic theory how to build them, but there's so many exotic builds out there.
Yeah, I watch a lot of people in chat probably know Black Magic Craft on YouTube. He does some really cool stuff. He actually has done a couple of our things. I think he did the Shipwreck Revenant and a couple of other things like that. He does some amazing stuff. He has some really good videos. If you guys go check him out after the show.
The more I watch Twitch, the more I find some really amazing stuff that's out there, just across the board.
Yeah, I mean
YouTube-
you're new to Twitch, so
Yeah, I'm new. I mean, YouTube, that was always my go-to, is, oh, well, I'm wanting to learn how to learn NMM or something. And I would go and it always inevitably leads you to YouTube. And sometimes you would find gold, and other times you're just like, I'm tired of looking. I'm going to go here and watch silly videos.
yeah. Especially on YouTube, you guys can get lost in like a hole. Like you start
Yeah.
watching how to make non-metallic metals, and then you end up watching, how to make a tent in the woods.
Yeah, exactly. Using wet leaves.
Yeah.
So, now what I did is this has helped for more aesthetic than anything, but it'll help structurally, is this is a very, very thin piece of sheet styrene, balsa wood. And I'm going to go ahead and put that on this surface to act like a veneer to be able, do you have any rubber bands? No, it doesn't matter, we got pins. To be a veneer to this. And it'll add the strength, but it'll also clean up the appearance of everything, because we want it to look nice when it's done. Nice and presentable. By the way, that we're going to have to come up with a name for it. John pointed that out. Because, a lot of the siege equipment had names. Especially by the age of Canon. It was bouncing whatever. There was a bunch of them.
Yeah.
And if somebody, royalty, invested this much into this kind of an equipment and it stayed around, generally, yeah, somebody somewhere is going to give it a name.
Would you want it to be a funny name or a real name?
I don't know. I would go for a real name. It's going to be, we originally started because I was going to dress it up with skulls and give it a red theme. So it could be some evil overlord kind of guy or girl or whatever, monster. That was just one idea. But it doesn't matter to me. And we'll go for
Like the Reaper Rubble Thrower.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll leave that up to them.
Trebuchet McTrebuchet face. Chuck. Oh, that's a good name.
Chuck, yeah. Just like that demon named Toby. We did a ghost hunt
Yeah, I remember.
back fall, okay? And the lady's telling us, and there's a demon in the house. And so that gets everybody's attention. And she says, the demon's name is Toby. And I was trying to take everything, I was being serious. I'm not there to, ham it up, but I was like, really? You're a demon? You could choose any name, All these demonic things could come to mind, and no, I just want to be Toby.
You're laughing at Ed. or Dave.
The demon. No, the demon saw Spider-Man. I don't blame him. Yeah.
The Reaper. Yeah, just plain and simple. The Reaper. We can't name everything the Reaper,
What's more terrifying than Tobey Maguire's performance in Spider-Man?
I liked it, but I was also younger. So.
What?
Spider-Man, the old Spider-Mans.
Oh.
What do they call them? The Sam Raimi Spider-Man? Sam Raimi Spider-Mans?
Was it
Oh,
Sam
okay.
Raimi that did those?
I believe so.
Oh wow.
Didn't he do,
He did Drag
Armies
Me
of
to
Darkness?
Hell, I think, and he did. Sam Raimi's usually known for like horror.
yeah, I think he did the
Evil
Maybe I'm
Dead
wrong.
too. Didn't
Evil
he?
Dead
Chat
and
will
Evil
correct
Dead 2 and Armies of Darkness. and
Correct.
Chat will correct us if we're wrong.
He also did the show, Ash versus the Evil Dead on
That's true.
Netflix. I watched that. That was actually really funny.
It was.
So, Ed, you're going to end up painting this when we're all done?
Yeah, we'll be finished with it. It's a hell of a thing to start with. There was about a bajillion other things I could have chosen, but this is what we got.
Mm. Is this your favorite material to work with?
Oh, no. Actually, no, plastic is plastistruck.
Plastistruck?
Yeah. If I, just to have fun, would be plastistruck.
Can we call it the catapult?
Yeah, but it's not a catapult.
I know that's the point.
But you could.
The Eduche? No, I
Yeah,
tried.
you say. No, I don't know. Somebody will come up with something good and send it to us, or we'll do it at a show. We'll come up with some names, sort of like we did with the ship.
Yeah.
And then everybody could vote.
How long does it take this glue to normally dry?
30 minutes, 30 minutes.
Got it. That helps with the
Actually, do
pins
you have
and
any rubber
everything.
bands at all,
Justin?
Justin?
No, I do
Okay.
not.
Okay. Then I
Do
will
not
use-
possess any.
I can try to run and go find some.
No.
There's got to be some. There is some downstairs actually, in the internet.
Actually, I know
that's
who's
all
got
the way
some.
in
If
the
you want to
building.
go get them, would be Amanda. She's
so
got
far away.
everything.
That too.
It's so far away.
Yeah, you know what? Take the mic with you, and we'll see how far it goes. Let's
Really?
test our equipment. Why
Yeah,
not?
you can do that.
Are
Yeah.
you sure?
Yeah, and just keep telling me where you are, so we know. 'Cause
No.
Yeah, I'd rather
I can hear you here.
rubber band these than pin them.
All right.
Yeah, 'cause
I'll,
they're
I
all
really
some-
do.
I'll take the mic, I guess,
See where it goes.
and see how far I get. You can always just turn me off if it gets crazy.
Yes.
So while we're waiting on that,
All
we're
right.
now going to go back to the ballast box. So what we have to do for the next part of the construction is attach all of these little boards. And there's two ways to do this. What we did last week on these sides is just take a big piece, cave it, true it, get it all done, and then slice that piece. So then it automatically
You guys have
is
any
gonna
rubber
fit
bands
back
out here?
in. Now another way to do it is just to
Okay.
go in with a pre-done board and just go down and just go to town on it. Now we don't have a lot of room here to go for pins, but we'll just go that route. And we have this side here, and we have all the way down. So, but I got to leave some part open to be able to get the sand in.
Hey, Paul, do you have any rubber bands
Okay,
out here?
Now,
Oh no, he's talking to Paul now. I can hear it.
oh, is he?
Yeah,
No one's
Okay.
allowed to talk to Paul. If you disturb Paul, you get in trouble.
it's fine. I'll mute it. No proof.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so now I'll move because I want to do this. So what we're going to do here is just glue these on at a length. We're not going to try and true them up because I can come back later and I'll do the slicing to true it up. So what we'll do is pieces about that long, right there. And at this point, we just need a lot of these pieces. Oh wait, I forgot. Okay. What we have to do beforehand, though, is because we want this to have a look of individual boards. And if we put them all together, even on that curve, they'll separate, but right here they wouldn't. So the trick would be to come on and just take these corners off a little bit. Well, thank you very much, sir. How far did it work? We won't tattle on you, but we heard you were talking to Paul.
Yeah. Oh, I asked him if he had rubber bands.
You know, I knowing Paul, as soon as you said, "Hey, Paul," I was like, "I'm gonna
you
mute
muted me?
this."
Okay.
I was like, "There's no telling what Paul's gonna yell at John right now."
So these take. You said the glue takes 20 to 30 minutes.
20 to 30 minutes.
Chris,
yeah.
Sarah, we are five baggies, five subs away.
Damn,
We
this is
are-
crowded now. Ron's in
we-
here hunting down something.
We are
Yeah.
at 2 total baggies given away, or 10 subs.
Now, what I'm doing is just putting a rubber band around it to hold it
Yeah,
at
yeah.
each end
Until it dries.
until it dries. Be a lot more effective and faster than using the glue. So, Ron, what are you up to? What are you looking for?
A
Uh-oh.
resin model.
A resin model?
A master that I cannot find.
Forgot to mute my phone. That'd be Jeremy, my son.
Hashtag
I'm
not professional.
sure it's catastrophic, and he'll be upset.
How long do we think until we are professionals? Do you think?
You
Oh,
mean
man.
like before it gets old?
Yeah.
Which resin model?
The Martian Princess.
Oh.
Oh, I haven't seen
You know,
it. In
I
here.
just honestly here. Let me do this.
Is it a new model?
John, I would like to point
that
this
bucket
out.
I have down
Yep.
there. Miles
This
is
Oh.
room,
It is a
this room is busy as all.
piece
Yeah,
that
that's wrong.
we only released in resin for ReaperCon.
That is,
Okay.
and
And of course, Collins photographed it. It's the only one we had.
And then he painted it?
You can
Now,
meet
I
me.
can't find it at all.
Oh.
But I know we photographed it.
did we photograph it,
We
Ron?
did photograph it. I found the photograph of all his other photographs.
It'll probably come through here in a minute. There's usually a delay on it, V-Man, for some reason.
Spit nails right now, so it is.
Because you can't find it?
Yeah. 'Cause
Uh,
it should be with the rest of the stuff, but is it?
Well, text him
Where is he?
at home.
He's doing construction stuff.
He built, yeah, he decided he was going to save some money and pull up his tile floor.
You know, I'm never going to be one to second that. I'm not going to be a DIY house person
No.
ever. It's,
No, all
it's
it
so
takes is
much more
once you
effort
do
than
it
it's
once,
worth.
then you realize, the professionals earn their money.
Right.
They're not just trying to gouge you.
You can put it in your garage door.
You're going to put in my new garage door, Ron?
Ron's actually a good garage door person. He's learned the geometry.
Alright,
He's
Ron,
gotten at
I'll
it.
accept
Yeah,
that.
no, a lot of stuff.
Ron, you haven't even been to my new house yet.
My Jeep.
When are you going to come to my new house, Ron?
Dude, you moved so far away. I don't know if we've got enough gas and Denton to put in the car to get there.
I don't live that far away.
So now where were we? Okay, we got that back on. Now we were just cutting a bunch of pieces. We were going to do the side. We'll mess with it.
Am I turned off, Justin? Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Uh-oh. If you have to ask, shouldn't be. These are all texts. I thought I'd silenced it.
Where do you live, Jason? I don't actually know. Like, what, you don't have to give me the exact location, but like what city? Because I live near Lake Worth in Fort Worth. Saginaw. Yeah, I'm a little further south than
Oh,
that,
yeah, I know
actually.
Saginaw.
So I commute from there every day. But it's fine, because I, off Marine Creek, correct. Actually, I live off Marine Creek. So,
Maybe I ought to change blade. I got enough gunk on that blade. Yeah, Saginaw's up. I know it well. It's up there near Mark IV. Parkway.
I'm past Mark IV. I take the Marine Creek exit, and basically I'm in the Marine Creek subdivision there.
Years ago when I was doing street racing in Fort Worth, my youth, some of the fastest cars on the street were coming out of Saginaw, that whole area.
Oh,
Yeah,
I feel honored then, Ed.
those farm boys know how to build cars.
It's not really a farm now. I'll be honest. It's really developed over there.
Yeah. All right. So here's my masterpiece. No.
I'm back.
Well, you didn't really miss anything.
You know.
It's good to have you on the show, though.
Are you still mic'd up?
Yeah. I mean, it's good because I like building terrain and stuff, so it's cool for me to be here to ask questions. But I watch a lot of stuff on YouTube. Like I said, Black Magic Craft. A lot of people watch him.
Well, I know after this, we're going to build a lot of stuff that is going to take 1 to 2 shows to build.
Yeah. This was just kind of a. We built the raft, or you
Yeah.
built the raft.
Built it one show.
And then we gave that away, signed it. Are we going to give this away or we're going to keep it
No,
here?
I'm going to keep it for the
Yeah.
ReaperCon,
Got it.
so we could show it there. Probably enter it into the open, and just so people could see it, and then maybe even shoot some candy out of it. Who knows?
Oh, yeah.
We'll
That'd be
see
fun.
how
Into
well
the
we get
audience.
I don't know. We'll see how well it goes. And
But yeah, it's cool for me to ask questions. Plus, it helps somebody who's kind of new to be beside you. Also, it helps you help read chat. So you can keep
that's
building.
the biggest problem, because I want to focus on this and keep these hands moving there and not cut myself. And I've stopped paying attention.
Hey, Balrog 8 Moria. Last night I actually was streaming, and there was 3 people watching me that I guess followed me from Reaper. And so they got to be there first while I was streaming.
Also, Ed, as a heads up, it is 4 o'clock.
Ah,
Okay, I'll
1 hour
keep
mark.
going. I'm going to keep going. Look, the only thing that faces me is a lot of email and a couple of meetings.
I have no problem with it.
Oh yeah, and Sharzan the Barbarian was there last night too.
What were you streaming? What were y'all doing?
I was sculpting ZBrush.
Oh, cool. You're getting a lot. That's coming along.
Yeah, I was making some doubloons that I'm probably going to be giving away at ReaperCon, like on my own. You know how we do the ribbons and things like that?
Yeah.
I tried to get him to sculpt something interesting and
The balloons could be interesting.
Yeah.
and explicit.
I'm actually going to show Ron and see what he can art direct me. Do his art directing.
Uh-oh. Get him in trouble.
Trash Rama, it's the same as my Twitch channel. My Reaper handle.
See you forever night.
Oh, bye Forever Night.
AKA Jason.
Later Forever Night. Thanks for the baby Yodas.
Oh, yes.
I'm excited for ReaperCon this year.
I'm looking forward to. We were talking about it the other day. This is going to be just a lot of fun. The pirate theme, I just love.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Dreadmere. I love all that, but there's just something magical about pirates, and knowing that come the costume time, we could probably put a whole ship on the ocean full of pirates.
I think we have a lot of plans. We'll be talking about it more, I think, on Reaper Live and stuff, like weekly, about ReaperCon updates and things like that. So I'm actually going to talk to Justin about getting. I've talked to Dave about this, but one of the nights maybe we can have a big streamer night, like everybody that's a Twitch affiliate or everybody that wants to do a big meet and greet. Maybe at the meet and greet we can have a Twitch night or something like that.
We actually, you guys don't know this, but we have some stuff in motion currently that we're working with Nightheart Games and several other streamers to kind of.
Lord Gazumba.
I think he's a part of it. I'm not really
think so.
sure. I have to look back at the email, but we're planning basically to kind of have constant coverage, where it's not just ReaperCon, but it's us doing stuff as well.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
So,
So all you people that can't make it to ReaperCon, it'll be a lot bigger for you guys as well. Be a lot more inclusive. And now that we have social media under control, it'll be a lot of stuff on that. So
Well, it does sound. That'll be fun.
somebody said something.
Now, I'm going to go ahead, and because extra structure never hurts,
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and inside the ballast box, drop a couple of cross beams a little higher, because at some point we're going to have to go through it to put the ballast and their swing arm axle for it.
Yeah, you don't want to go to shoot your first Hershey Kiss and it just
And it
fall
break.
apart.
Yeah, that would be embarrassing. The king would have your head. Okay. And it gives you good reason to use these shorter supports.
Yeah. I mean, no wasted material on this table.
Yeah. So, John, what got you into social media? How did you are you just part of a product of the generation? And
I think so. Millennials. I guess. I don't know. I like to be a step upper. So if you see something that's needs to be helped or fixed, you step up and kind of help with it. But I've always kind of been okay at it. But I like interacting with the community. It's really fun. Especially, I think it's a product of, because before this job, I never did anything with miniatures at all. I never played a single game of D&D or Pathfinder.
I thought you were a GW before this, before Reaper.
Nope, I was a Magic player. So I played Magic.
Oh, okay.
I was one of those. And then, stumbled into here, and then here we are, 10 years later. Sculpting, having fun, building terrain, hanging out.
And Magic's still around too.
Oh yeah, the longest running card game.
Pretty
Hotel.
much the only card. They invented the genre. Yeah, they sort of got that one from day one.
Yeah, people say it's the original loot box
Yeah.
card packs.
And I got into it real early, or actually with its launch, and because I thought we were traveling and hitting all these shows at the time. Well, that's fun to play while we're on the road, stuck in this van, and so I bought all of these packs and did it. And at the time, you didn't have collectible cards. You didn't really have much of anything, and so I got to San Jose, California, for an Origins there. And after I got the booth set up, I went and grabbed my notebook and I went over to play. And it had been a good while, 4 or 5 months, since I'd really had a chance to sit down and play. And I was mobbed like one of the Beatles. And I didn't realize it because what I had was all these alpha blacks, all these beta blacks, Mox out, just a ton of cards, which were what we built decks and played with. And it was quite an eye-opener. And then people would tell me how much it's worth, and so I ended up selling a bunch of them. Just couldn't wrap my brain around and collecting them.
Do we know how long until this thing can shoot Hershey Kisses?
I don't know, man. Since we changed the build the parameter, I'd originally thought about 3 or 4 shows, but I think we're up to 6 shows just on this alone.
This is number 7, in fact, which is why the title is what it is.
Which is what?
Ed has a license to kill
Oh,
because it's 007.
got it.
Wow,
007.
Blood Wild.
So all we're going to do is now plank the bottom of this.
And this is the function of, this is where all the weight is?
Yeah, this
Inside
will
of
be
here?
the ballast box. And what we'll do is build the outside to look appropriate and nice. And then once we have this in, I'll just drop some more structures to it as needed.
V-Man, I went ahead and just counted it because I noticed you have the badge next to your name. So you definitely have a sub. I just went ahead and counted it towards our total, which brings us to 11, by the way,
11.
which is 2 total baggies. 4 more, and we'll be at 3 baggies.
Yeah, 4 more subs, and we'll do 3
Okay.
Christmas samples.
So as you can see
Correct.
now, all I'm going to do is just take that bead of glue and go. And when it looks like it's a little loppy-sided like it is, it's still wet. I can do this. And
Hey,
I'm not
Jacob, how
worried
you
about
doing?
it being, since we're going to use sand, I'm not really worried about it being airtight or sand tight, I guess, because what we're going to do is come back in, and I'll probably just put the sand, I'll probably put a baggie down in there and pour the sand in the baggie, and it'll expand it
Yeah.
out.
We could probably use a Ziploc bag.
Yeah,
From
and just
downstairs?
and just cut it to where it'll sort of fit in, things like that. There are solutions to that.
Also, don't forget to get your hashtag free in if you guys haven't done that. If you're new to being in here for the last however long, hashtag
Now,
free.
What I don't like is this very first one came up short, so it's angling down. And
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
so what I'm going to do is take a little scrap, like that little sliver right here, and I'm going to attach it to the end and put some more glue on it.
Glenn H, are you Glenn the sculptor? Our sculptor, Reaper Miniatures? You sculpted the Hippo Man, I think. If I'm correct. It is 3 underscores. Hashtag freeze. Get your hashtag freeze in.
Yeah, because before we start, I like to get to some sort of a stopping place.
Thanks, Glenn.
I hate to. Now what I did was add this little sliver in here, just for, again, we're doing pure aesthetics, to raise up that one board that wasn't trued up. And it helped a little bit. Not quite enough. So,
I'm just doing it for fun, Valandar.
what?
Sculpting.
Yeah. Sculpting is
super
fun. In
expensive.
fact, I used to sculpt when I was in traveling all the time to the trade shows and junk for Reaper. Is in the hotel at night.
Yeah.
I had a electronic program called Rhino. It was a NURBS-based 3D sculpting kind of a software on my laptop. And I would just get in there and build stuff. And
It's coming out.
I don't believe we used any of it. In fact, I'm pretty much sure we didn't. But it was Fun to do.
I was actually helping somebody on social today find a mini, and I clicked on the picture on the website, and it said sculpted by Ed Pugh. So I thought it was really funny.
All those I did with putty, or metal and putty, and all
Green.
green.
Glenn says, Rhino, is that still around?
I have no idea. At the time, it was state of the art, but that state of the art and the technology,
Yeah.
world of technology, changes about every 22 seconds.
That
Yeah.
bead of glue dripping down the side of that basket is driving me insane.
Okay.
Can you please wipe
Yes,
that
I'll get
up?
rid of it.
Thank
Sorry.
you.
I haven't done the inspection yet.
Oh gosh, you made it worse. Just someone get this man a cloth.
No, I want to get the chunks out. I don't have any cloth. Oh, I do. I do have paper towel.
Oh boy.
Man. I normally don't get to watch this show while I'm at work, so.
There we go. Don't we'll sand it off. It'll all be.
Yeah. This has to be structurally sound. Put some sand in there.
Oh, he's gonna do it again.
Yeah.
He's gonna
Here,
do
tell
it
you
again.
what. I'll just cut it off at the pass for you.
You shall not pass. Some glue here.
Ron is still wandering aimlessly looking for this mini.
How far do you think this will launch?
Oh, thank you, Jacob. That's 2 more baggies added to the
thanks,
pool, guys.
Jacob.
Thank you, sir. Man, I'd hate to jinx it. I don't know. I bet we could make it from here to the door.
We should make some bets in chat. How far do we think? You know?
Yeah.
Whoever gets closest maybe wins a prize.
Gambling is illegal, John.
Oh, never mind. I didn't say anything of the sort.
Yeah.
A
But,
friendly,
yeah.
stake-free wager.
You know that game that used to play in middle school and stuff where they say, count how many marbles do you think are in this jar?
Truth or dare? Oh,
No.
okay.
Yeah, things like that, you know? How far do you think this will shoot?
I was thinking spin the club.
Ah.
What?
They hadn't invented bottles when I was in school. I still had caveman clubs.
Valandar says, how much will the ballast weigh?
I don't know. I haven't done the math that side of it yet. I would have to say we'd get 3 or 4 ounces
3 or 4
out
ounces.
of it.
We could just put one of our metal minis in there at that point.
Yeah, but you do want it to go. It has to be evenly distributed, so that as it's going through its arc, you don't want it to try and want to go one side or the other.
Yeah. We call that the wobble maneuver.
Yeah. Okay, we'll stick some out here on the edge.
First shot right in front of it. Next one 7 feet. Some threads of fate. 42 says.
All right. So.
16.
I don't
16
think
inches or feet?
if it works smoothly and it goes according to the arc, it'll hit that door.
Oh, okay.
That'll be about as far as. But now I don't know what the mass. A light object is going to slow down. It's a weird. Yeah. I don't know.
Every time I read, George Hens has suggested that we use pea gravel as a ballast, but every time I read it, I think of what we were joking about before
earlier?
the show started. Yeah.
Pea gravel. I'll have to look that
Yeah,
up.
that's
Really,
great for the
honestly, I don't know
audience
what
that's listening.
I don't know what pea gravel is. Okay, so I'm gonna quit messing with it, and as you can
Ooh.
see, what we've done is plank the bottom in its fashion, and then got it there. And what we really just needed to do now is just dry, and then I'll clean up this glue. Now we'll be able to sand it and stuff like that to be able to get it, because we'll use a combination of paint and stain.
My prediction is that the release messes up and it goes straight up and backwards.
It
Doesn't
very
even
well
go
could. It
forward.
very well could.
So I'm going to say negative 3 feet.
That's assuming I don't sneak up here
Cat
and get
litter.
all of it worked out beforehand.
Rings Raccoon said cat litter.
Thank you. You know what?
Oh, is that what
Trasharama?
cat litter would be? See, it's I don't have to. I've got somewhere if I could even find it
Metal
what the
skulls?
math on this would be, but that's what I was thinking. The sand would
kidney
be
stones?
heavy. I don't know if cat litter is gonna. I don't know.
In fact, I don't think I'm ever going to call kidney stones again. It's going to be pea gravel.
Pea gravel.
Have you built anything out of what's that? The particle
Okay.
board that everybody's been using recently. MDF.
Oh yeah,
MDF?
we used MDF for years. MDF is real good if you got a jigsaw and you've got to build buildings and you want them to last from show to show to show. Okay, that would be MDF, and that I would use as the structure for that.
Yeah.
And then I can put whatever facade I want to trowel on or bolt up, whatever you got to do to it. That's what I used it for. But nowadays, it's an art form. These laser cutter guys,
Yeah.
It's amazing some of the stuff.
Because
they
the
do.
Dreadmere buildings were built out of MDF, I believe.
Yeah.
The ones that we used for the Dreadmere.
Yes, they were. Yes, they were all MDF.
Radical idea. We're gonna cast into it the exact amount we need.
Oh.
Just
No,
hot. No, it'll be fine. The balsa wood won't burn. It's fine.
Actually, what happens is it'll go in. Not that we were bored late at night doing stuff like this.
Yeah, you would never have done something so unsafe as
But
this,
if you
right?
pour it into the balsa wood cup or this kind of this wood or basswood or whatever, it'll actually turn. It singes the wood, the ash, because it's burning that.
Yeah.
But it never gets a grip. So as soon as you turn it over, it just flop right out. Kind of thing. It doesn't want to hold.
Sounds to me like we're just never going to turn the trebuchet over.
All right. So what time is it? It's 4:10. Man, I don't want to stop.
Do you have work to do?
Yeah, there's a lot. Are you talking about real world?
Yeah, real
Back
work.
down work
Like
stairs?
Reaper
Yeah,
work.
yeah, there is. Never goes away. But I would like to, before we stop, come up with where we need to be inside of here. How far down this has got to be for the ballast. So, first what I want to do is cut the veneer out. Oh my God, I just got glue everywhere. Man, it's like first grade again. I'm having fun.
Oh man,
Now we just need finger paints.
stuff everywhere.
All right.
We got to stay an hour after the show to clean up everything.
Yeah, I'm sorry I did that to y'all that night. Well, there's some show right before Christmas. I thought, okay, the next show is going to be my show. So I left everything here on the table. And then Sadie did her show. I think it was Monday. When did she do hers?
Thursday.
Thursday. Who was somebody did a show
It
anyway.
was probably Friday.
And
Our
got
show.
stuck with all the stuff I left. Now what I'm doing here is actually, if you can tell, here I'm cutting an angle on it, so it's going to look like it's a finished
So
board.
it's beveled. Yeah.
Beveled, I guess, would be the term. And
Primary weak point of the shaft and primary point of failure, the axis hole of the bottom of the boom arm,
yeah,
is what Valandar says. Man, Valandar has a lot of information about trebuchets.
If Ed doesn't remember Crusader, then I clean up my set. But otherwise, Ed usually does a good job of, at the bare minimum, bringing his tub up, taking his whole arm, and just going as it all
Shoving it
falls
in
into the tub.
that's true.
But he does a good job of actually picking it all up.
Me and Dave actually get here like 30, 45 minutes before the show starts so we can talk about it and clean everything up. So there you go.
That's real nice.
Yeah. That's just the people we are. That's the kind of people.
Is that it, huh?
Don't eat the
right.
glue, Ed, Dave says.
Too late.
Bug Lips, I saw your desk on Facebook. Speaking of that, I'm sorry, everybody, for all the desk pics. Apparently, it filtered over into a bunch of other hobby groups as well.
Which desk picks?
All the desk pics that are on the Facebook. People showing their hobby desks.
Oh, their
and
work
workspaces.
desks. Yeah.
That started from the Friday show, me and Dave. And then apparently it filtered into a bunch of other different hobby groups as well. People have been, it kind of cascaded through the hobby realm.
Well, it is. I can see that would be fun. I mean, it's not like anybody else is ever going to see it.
It's where you spend most of your time, generally.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Got it. Fixed it.
Planar Crossroads says she has 4 different areas for hobby. You got your airbrush station, you got your 3D printing station, that's what it is now. It's all, you have your airbrush station, your 3D printing station, your painting station.
By the way, Chris sent me a message, thinking it was you, John, asking if you got his email.
Who?
Chris Sayer.
Oh.
I guess I ruined
My
that
email?
blade.
Coffee Nerdy Beer, do you have a desk pick thread on Reddit? I don't currently. It was primarily on the Facebook page. But a cool thing that I did start on the Reddit on Monday, I started this thing that so I started a story, and then the next person would add the next sentence to the story, and then so forth and so on. And so every other person would add sentences to a story, and we're up to about 8 sentences right now, so it's getting pretty big.
We used to do that on the
it's
Reaper
fun.
forums. I remember that happened a few times.
Yeah, I was also talking to the forum people about getting some rules in place, so it's not like somebody comes in and says, and then he died, and then your story's
Oh,
over. You know,
yeah.
kind of derailing it a little bit.
Well, you have to be into the whole idea of what's happening. You want to be part of the equation.
Yeah.
Is the trick. All right. Let's see if
It's
we've got
fun. It's
enough.
going really well. I mean, as long as people respect the story and, don't just start.
They could grow. I mean, I've seen years ago, I saw several would go into really pages.
Yeah,
And they
it's
would
fun.
make for fun stories to read. But then you're right, there's always going to be the, and then aliens landed and the
Yeah.
gas station exploded.
It's been really fun so far, though.
See, where is it? There it is. All right. I hate to do a whole episode of lengthening, but it appears to have worked.
Why not?
I
Why
know,
not,
why
Ed?
not?
It is so fitting for today's episode.
I mean,
It is.
at this point, everybody just wants it to be able to be shot. So
I know.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to do work off the camera, but no.
Lengthen
Justin
it
had a
correctly
void.
so it can be shot.
Right. But I'm going to have to pull some more off of this veneer because it won't go through.
yeah, it looks like it's just. I
just
can hear
catching
it.
right there.
Yeah, I can hear it. It's just barely catching.
Yeah.
So probably need to shave off a little bit there.
Yeah.
I can tell that from the camera. Just looking at it.
All right. So it's these two here that are offending us. And I can see the hit mark.
Do you have a terrain that you've always wanted to try to build and never haven't done it yet?
I've built 4 or 5 castles. And I think I would like to revisit that now again. Or a burned out city.
Watch your hand.
That's another one. Yeah, really. Game tables. I always like to play as a brushstroke to that. We used to build sand tables for the Reaper cons in the early days to play Warlord and Cav on and stuff. And those were always a lot of fun. And that was one of my goals, was to figure out how to make that actually happen and work. And once we did, it was a lot of fun. But I would have to say a castle. I've seen what people have done in Hearst Arts, but every time I watch a movie where they've put a castle in it, you're just like, oh my God, who thought of all that? It's incredible.
Yeah, I was watching the Lord of the Rings documentary the other day, and how they built all their sets.
Yeah.
A lot of those sets are miniatures.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I've got a friend that does that in California, Greg. He did a lot of Star Trek. He's done that for years. Greg Ginn.
Yeah.
If you want
How
to look him
about
up.
old Greg?
Oh, Greg. Yeah.
Yeah.
I talked about him on the tour sometimes.
And no, that's incredible what they do and how they've the weathering and all this kind of stuff. They actually build miniature, but super, super up close on some of them, not all of it, but some of it when you get up, it's all designed to be shot on a camera at a specific length
Yeah.
and or depth away or whatever, space away.
Yeah, it's a good point in chat. I want to build a giant castle, but we have no room to store it. So
Yeah,
that
and
that
that's
is
what
a
we've
thing.
got. We've got a huge plaster castle in storage around here, a huge wooden castle in storage. They're just a big thing. But past that, terrain-wise, really what I want to focus on, which I haven't done very much, would be cool, because it's really evolved over the last 10 years, is backdrops for miniatures
Yeah.
that are part of the story. It's not, you can do, Proctor did a really cool, where the whole base came up and you had the figure there, but as you went around it, you saw these other elements that were part of the whole story of this room and all this other stuff. And that kind of stuff, I think that would be fun.
I took your idea when I posted the Wizards. I don't know if you saw this one, but the Wizards with the lightning bolt.
Oh yeah, the lightning bolt. Yeah, yeah.
So I took your idea and you told me to use backdrops, so I started using the backdrops.
Terrain is supposed to, in my world, I mean, I'm sure there's all sorts of lofty ways to look at it, but it's supposed to accentuate the story, but it's not supposed to be the story. So you want to build terrain really well if you're going to put it next to a figure or be part of that idea, but not make it into something that detracts from the figure.
Yeah.
Kind of from that idea and stuff. So I've seen people do some really elaborate. There we go. Yeah, that's going to look real nice when we start weathering it. Some really elaborate displays that by the time, what I realize when I'm looking at it is I'm spending more time looking at the display than I am looking at the figure. And that's not really, at that point, do you determine which was successful?
Yeah. Like talking about Black Magic Craft, He
There
had
we
an
go.
idea from one of his patrons where he took a shipwrecked boat and he made the front mast of the boat into like a fisherman's house. And
Yeah.
it looked really good
Yeah.
as a miniature.
But did you now, and that's I guess what I'm saying is now do you go in and detail that house to such an infinite degree that you end up going right past visually the fisherman to look at the little bowl of fruit and
Yeah.
and that's sort of
The
where it
fisherman
can
net.
get sort of out of control, I guess.
Sometimes it's fun if you have the time.
And then there's tricks. Shep Payne was real big on a lot of really he developed a lot of cools. And I saw one of these executed at a ReaperCon a couple of ReaperCons ago where they you looked at the piece and you were looking in a mirror, or you had to look through a hole to look at the diorama on the inside. And they were using a mirror, and what they had done is had over here in a box an image of another figure they'd painted, which it presented on the mirror, the glass out here, whatever, this illusion that the person was talking to a ghost.
Oh.
And it's a really neat
Cool.
effect. But now you're sort of again back to crossing that
Yeah.
and still no B. Oh my God, a B. Arthur action figure.
Can you build a whole blacksmith workshop terrain? That sounds awesome.
Yeah, we could do. I don't know if we can do it next time, but that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That would be a lot of
I
fun.
know we have a couple of blacksmiths that I really love. The elven blacksmith that we have, I love the figure for that.
Okay, so as you saw here, before we lose track of, get this in right. We did finally get it going. We've lengthened it.
Waiting for the glue to dry.
Yeah, on that. Well, I mean, that's just veneer.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we have that going,
Hey.
and it's pretty loose. This should be neat enough. Okay, so at some point, what we're going to have to do now is determine where we need the ballast to be in relationship to the beam. Normally, we don't want it here. It's not supposed to be way out here. It's actually supposed to be somewhere in this area. Okay, and then it's got to ride off of a hole that's actually a little higher. And that was the thing. So I added a lot of beam to this to give us some time to go play with the cut, but at the same time, it's going to have to probably be optimally, when it comes to rest, I'd like to see the ballast box be right about at that level, kind of a thing. So when it comes out on the beam, we're probably going to be in that area there. Probably closer to there. So when we come down, yeah. And so again, we also have a final adjustment by the length of the attaching beam, these parts here. When we attach those for the swing, kind of a thing. So it's 4:30. You want to call this the stopping place?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we can do that. Well, I think you have to pull off some freeze and do
yeah.
that.
Get the
and,
raid ready.
Everything. So guys, I hope you're enjoying this to the extent it is. It's taking a lot longer than I thought, but we will get to it'll wrap up really quick. I just want to get to where we're going to paint it, and that shouldn't take more than one episode.
So does chat now want you to work on it off stream?
Yeah, I
Okay.
wanted to do this stuff, and then Justin said, no, they'd want to see it. And so then it came up, and I asked something, and so he did a vote. And everybody came in and said, no, if you
I
just
see.
do it all. Fix the messes or the mistakes, do what you're going to do, things like that.
Yeah. So thanks. I mean, everybody that followed from Jimmy the Brush's channel. If you guys followed, thanks for the follows. Thanks for everybody for hanging out. It was fun. I mean, I enjoyed it. Like, I normally watch this after the fact because it's on when I'm at work. So it's looking great. Yeah, everybody in chat saying they want to see it. So the idea is that when this swings down, it does the bottom part of that the arms swing through it, or stop it? Is that what it?
No,
said?
it'll rock like this a little bit.
Got it.
Just it's in theory. I mean, if it's done right. All this really is a hand sling.
Yeah.
That's built on a massive scale. So you're going to have two pieces when we loom up the net to carry the payload, the Hershey Kiss. It'll have two pieces, one of which is attached to the arm, and the other piece, which will go on a little hook or wire or whatever we want to stick up here, which is the other part of the sling. And so as it starts to go through its motion, this opens up, and just like you would throwing a hand sling.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
really all it is a big
Hand sling.
hand sling.
Yeah, same
is the
physics idea.
function. Yeah. And so, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you getting them pulled? You ready? Whenever you are.
A lot of people like the
Yeah, I'm getting
Finishing.
the raid ready as well.
Oh, okay.
Hey.
Get that ready.
and
And
the freeze.
I'm trying to figure out a way to start. I'm going to have to cut the shaft and start testing a length.
I'm glad you're here, Albeavazin. I've seen you in other people's chats as well, other Twitch streamers.
Because if I go, while you're waiting, put the big picture up. Or wait, never mind. I've got this picture. You can go look at the down camera.
You can do both. Yeah, both.
Okay. So, as you can see, this end of the shaft of the beam is not that long. Oops, sorry.
There you go.
All right, here we go. We'll get it all in here. The beam itself past the center is not that long. And then we have this piece here, and then we have the box. And so at full rest, this box will come down and be at that area. It's sort of what we're what we're looking for. So knowing that you've seen that, and then we go to this sideways, that's what we're going to try and do is get this to be right about there. And,
I just drew our 4 winners, by the way.
if I turn this upside down, that would give us a good... Now you can use the front camera again. Yeah, that would be about where we want it to end up, is in that area. So, and I believe, yeah, that'll get us, our geometry will stay true, and we'll go. So, all right, so let's go. We are 4:30, so it's time to go.
He's pulling the winners
I
right
keep
now.
hitting the microphone. Sorry there.
All right. So let me get our winners together here real quick.
While you're doing that, I want to tell everybody, go through the shows. Tomorrow is Wednesday here. Tomorrow you get, Ann will be doing the
At
Toolbox episode. And this is where she's painting the Dance of Death, is what I call it. The dueling.
It's Dance of Death is
Dance
what
of
it
Death,
is.
it's
Yeah.
Dueling
Okay.
Dragons, what I always call
Yes.
it. Anyway, she'll be still painting on. That's a long-term piece that runs from show to show to show.
And 11 a.m. is also her show tomorrow.
Yes.
So she has two shows tomorrow.
2 shows tomorrow.
Double Ann.
Yep.
So you'll get 2 times of Ann, and then on Thursday, we do our show at 6 o'clock, the Reaper Live, and that's Ron and I. And then on Friday at 3 p.m. is Dave and John, and they do, I call it Reaper Land, but it's a Bones
Reaper
5 update. It's a lot of things. It's a lot of information. It's
morphing.
So we're going to be also rearranging how we're getting the information out to get it there and go from there. And Albavian, if you can say that right, that'd be fun. Sometime we might do that. We might actually find a table and do that at
ReaperCon?
ReaperCon, just hang out and build junk.
I was just thinking
And,
that as soon as you said it.
Yeah. So anyway, we have that show. We also have it debuted this week on Monday at 3 o'clock. Is what's the name?
Miniature Monday
Miniature Monday. That's all right. I can't believe I
with
forgot that.
Josh Davis of
Jason.
the Mini Painting Studio.
Yes. So that was real good. That was a lot of fun. I was watched that. So we're slowly getting there. We're starting to fill it in and get a lot of this going, and it's been fun. There's a lot of talk about it. Everybody's got ideas for new shows and
Yeah,
things.
and I know a lot of people on Twitter and everything have been asking me about different times because I know we do a lot of our shows at 3 p.m. But, a lot of people can't watch it live, which at this point, thank everybody who's watching on YouTube. It means a lot.
But you could also, that's the thing, we were looking at the global clock. We could move it farther ahead, earlier in the morning, and catch, I guess Europeans.
Different time zones.
At different time zones around the world. And then there's always pushing possibly a little later and catching more of the Aussies.
Maybe I can do a poll on Twitter and Facebook about what times people would want to see
Yeah,
Twitch shows.
and I'd like to think more around the world. I mean,
Yeah.
it's try and pick slots that would allow people from all over the place to see it.
Yeah. All right.
So we could do that. That's going to be fun.
Sounds good.
Are you guys ready for the 4 winners?
Except, well,
Yeah.
I've got to do, there's all of our social medias. There's
Oh,
Twitch,
yes.
All of them.
Twitter. Well, there's all of them. What are they?
Instagram, Twitter, Reddit, Facebook, the forums, Instagram.
Instagram,
Those are, I
Twitch,
think, all the other ones. Oh, and Twitch, yeah.
and Twitch.
And
And then
Justin doesn't do the
and then
Twitches.
Dave's Facepalm.
Facepalm, yeah.
Do you remember MySpace?
I do. That's where
Okay.
I started.
Well, then there you go. We need a MySpace. So anyway,
All right. On that
Four
note,
winners. Yeah.
our 4 winners are Confucius 2K,
oh wow, okay.
KelvarinBlight, theminaith, and
Oh,
then
Minia.
Ardius _
Hey, Menaith, you won.
Wow. Well, congratulations.
And Ardeus.
And this week, so that you'll know what you're
Arduous.
getting, is the goodie bags we found in the warehouse.
Yeah.
And
There's a
you
few
need
of
to
them.
send your Twitch handle as it is created by you. So if you use a 0 for an O or an E for a 3 or any of this stuff, you need to put that in there, and it's really good if you go ahead and put that in the subject line. And then you need to put your actual physical mailing address, and we can ship UPS, USPS, doesn't really matter. And those are the 2 required to be able to get this to you. And you would not believe how many don't do it. So don't be one of them. And that goes to reaperlive@reapermini.com.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. So congratulations to all y'all, and this is a lot of fun, and I can't wait for next Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun, and I might sneak up here and do some more things just to help edge it along.
Smooth it out a little
I
bit.
Smooth it
also
out.
found someone using ZBrush.
Yay.
So
Oh
they're-
wow, that'll be
Yeah,
fun.
and they're not sculpting minis, but they are sculpting. And
Yeah, they're
it's
sculpting.
Interesting. So,
All right.
ZBrush
All right,
is
guys.
We all stay
complicated.
safe and have a good time.
and we
we
will
will
see
y'all
you
later.
tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Right?
Yep.
Right.
Central Time.
CST.
All right.
Central Time.
Take care.
All right. See you guys.
Enjoy. And then